Hello? I hit go live while I try to redo these things. Alright, I ended up figuring out what happened, but give me a second. I know what happened. 1 second. I know what happened. Okay. So while people regather, I figured my computer hard crashed and I was trying to figure out what the fuck. So I had to shut it down, come back, get everybody back into the stream, and I turned on my streaming software. And my streaming software said no accounts are linked. And I was like, what? And it said no accounts are linked. So I open up Google Chrome, I open up my account, I try to figure out my things. And in the middle of an active stream, the software apparently hit the year-long point where every year, every 365 days, I have to tell my streaming software, yes, I still want you to connect to YouTube. So in the middle of a stream, 365 days came up and 0 seconds, and it was like, shut it down! We don't know if this is the same guy who's been using it for the past year! Shut it down! And it's like, sir, we're in the middle of a stream, and my software was like, nope! Get him to reauthorize everything! And it's like, but there's way too many programs going on this PC right now. We can't just shut it down. That'll cause a massive crash. And it was like, I don't care! Emergency stop switch! So it shuts it all down. I hard crash, come back in, and then my broadcaster is like, hey, I just wanted to know, is Human Boy Yes Yes your YouTube account? I click yes. Hey, thanks. Do you want me to enter my password? Do you want me to enter my email address? Do you want me to enter any information besides just clicking yes, this is me with no follow-up? I could be anybody. No. You just had to click yes. We're sorry. Fuck, you're sorry. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. That was annoying. Okay. So we were right here. I was talking about the Norska build, then everything crashed. It's a whole bunch of Marauders. Icehorn Marauders, Marauder Spears, Marauder Champions, Marauder Hunters with Javelins, and with throwing axes, looks like 3 of each type. More Marauder Spearmen, Wolfric the Wanderer, and double Feral Manticore. Oh my god. That was super annoying. I'm very frustrated. Sorry that happened for everybody. That's a pain in the dick. We've seen the Khorne build before, but in case you were not here right before the crash when that thing did get shut down, we had 4 Marauder Horsemen throwing axes, a crap ton of Marauders of Khorne, some with dual weapons, some without, Chaos Warrior of Khorne, Skull Crusher, and 3 shrines, 2 of which are the Blood Shrines, 1 is the War Shrine of Khorne. Should they also have you click I am human things? Nah, there's no level of security. It was just like, is this you? And I said yes, and that was it. All right. IT is certainly a masterwork of collective annoyance for all mankind. So Khorne is trying to kite around a little bit, and Norska is just walking menacingly at the Khorne formation. I will play it on ×2 till something happens, as Khorne still tries to get a couple little throwing axe jabs in, and the rest of the Khorne army continues to run away. Run away, Khorne army. Run away. The Marauder Tide is here. And they're fighting Marauders of Khorne, so there's like 90... How many Marauder units are in this game? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There are 19 Marauder units in this game. F, you're sorry. Thanks for the cap stubs. Anytime strat game, thanks for the $10. Alright, Skull Crushers take a charge onto Marauder Spearmen, doing surprisingly well for charging a Spearman unit, but go Skull Crushers go. And the Blood Shrines of Khorne are here to disrupt the backfield. This is going to be a problem. 3 ranged units all piled on top of each other means that these Skirmish Cav and the Blood Shrine all just mucking them up means none of these guys are going to be firing for quite a while, and that could be a huge trade for Khorne. The frontline fight is going mixed, but overall it actually seems to be going overall well for Khorne. I think I said overall twice there, and you know what? I'm okay with it. I'm just fine with it at this point. This is the world we're living in. Wolfric is bodying a Blood Shrine of Khorne for the moment, and I think this guy popped Locus of Wrath, so 80 melee attack on these Skirmish Cav that are trying to shut down the ranged units of Norska. The front line of Norska is also faltering. Norska in general is just faltering, but we'll see how it goes as a Manticore dives into Plague of Rusted Skull Crushers that are trying their best to ignore those guys and get a mass route going here for Norska. It looks like that is going to happen as three definitely, but maybe 4 units start to route into the backfield. We have 4 more units routing down here in a 5th just now, so Norska is in mass retreat, and I wonder if Khorne can successfully chase those units off and keep them routing. The Manticore that landed earlier is now entirely dead, mega fucked. The other one is quickly on his way there as well. Everything is turning up Khorne, but Wulfric's trying to turn it back by fighting this little Herald of Khorne. Maybe if you can kill him off, things can be turned around. Did we ever get a blue screen on the Star Enterprise of Star Wars? Did they not run Windows on their starships? They did not. They probably ran Apple, looking at those ships, man. Norska in mass retreat. The balance power starts to shift against them. Wulfric still tries to hit the Herald of Khorne. He is just having a very hard time of it because for some reason, I guess, foot character problems, but he's starting to get some good hits in there. And now here comes the Sword of Khorne on top of these Icehorn Marauders. They start to dodge. They try to run away, but it is futile. The Sword of Khorne slaps them down. That is GG. That is GG. Khorne did good. Skirmish Cav did great. Marauders did fine. Everything, honestly, just did really well. For Bavaret, he tried. Wulfric let him down a bit. Manticores also struggled. The Marauder tide was not what it used to be. He just provided the Blood God with his skulls and his blood. Okie dokie, let's get the bracket back up there. We are back to half of the people that were watching before the crash. If you came back, thank you so much. If you did not come back, you know what? Fuck you too. Sorry, what are we doing? Too aggressive. Too aggressive. Reel it back. No, I am sorry about the crash, though. Beastmen versus... That is not what I need. I need this one. So second for the bottom, we have Demons of Chaos versus Bretonia. And then the Lizardmen. The next game is Lizardmen, Vanthus. If you're still waiting, the next game is Lizardmen. Two games left in round 2, and then we will be done with 16 out of the 23 replays for today. And we'll start going through the rounds much faster. But the first 2 rounds are slogs when you have 8 games apiece to get through. So... yeah, that is funny, Vanthus. You've been waiting for Lizardmen this whole time, and they were the last faction to appear. That's super funny to me. All right, for the Demons of Chaos, we have 5 Nerglings. We have a Skull Cannon of Khorne, 2 more Blood Shrines. So Eldrin really likes his Blood Shrines. A Herald of Slaanesh on foot with Lash of Slaanesh and Acquiescence to give the army-wide melee attack buffs. We have the Blazing Squealers Pink Horror ROR. We have the Chromatic Abominations Blue Horror ROR. Another Blue Horror. Barons of the Bog ROR. 2 more Plague Toads. 2 Pox Riders. Damn, that is very elite. And then that is it. For Killing Smalls and Bretonia, we have seen this in round 1, but real quick, we have 2 Mounted Yeoman Horse Archers, 2 Mounted Yeoman non-Archer variant, all of them gold chevron, and then we have the Peasant Tide, similar to Bretonia, just spears upon spears with triple gold chevrons to give them insane stats, 5 Archers with silver chevrons, 2 Grail Reliques with silver chevrons, and a Prophetess of Beasts with Assault of Stone. And Manticore Summon. Can Demon standing up against the Peasant Tide? We'll try. Never left, sir. I live in a frozen wasteland. Where was I supposed to go? Alright, the Peasant's insane melee stats does not help them versus range attacks, so the pink and blue horrors are trying to whittle those guys down as the Nurglings charge in, get their leadership nice and low so that they can get rid of that problem. Pox Riders are moving in, as are the Blood Shrines, which will hopefully give the melee stats Demons of Chaos need to get through the insane melee defense of the gold chevron Peasants. The first Manticore summon is out. Ooh, and the Lash of Slaanesh. The Slaanesh army passive is going to give the Nurglings a lot of oomph. Like, especially post the Blood Shrine, that gives these guys 44 melee attack, which for Nurglings is really, really high. Blazing Squealers attacked by the Prophetess of Beasts, but the Prophetess has to be careful. The Blazing Squealers will actually destroy her in melee. 34-30 versus their 50-48. Assault of Stone is a little off kilter. I think she's expecting the Blazing Squealers to run, but they just didn't. and then she has to opt out of that fight, so a little bit of a whoopsie on the backfield there. Meanwhile, the Peasant Tide is being broken. Some of that elite front line is backing off, and the archers are taking a lot of damage too. The Blood Shrine is rolling through these guys, and the Pox Riders are doing what all Plague Toad units do after their buffs, disruption. They're just really good at disruption. I do like Plague Toads now. I think they could maybe even use a little bit more love, but they are quite usable these days. The Chaos Fury summon from the caster is out, and along with the Blood Trides, it is routing off the peasants. That's a lot of routing peasants. Meanwhile, in the back line, the Mounted Yeoman archers plus the other Mounted Yeoman are able to take the Blading Squealers down enough that they actually do start crumbling. More Nurglings are fading away, and this Herald of Slaanesh is fighting a Manticore and Spears admirably. She has been hanging on for dear life. As Furies continue to fight, this Blood Shrine of Khorne decides maybe it isn't the best place to be standing, as there are halberds all over, and goes swooshing through some archers and more halberds, to be fair. Pox Riders of Nurgle are fading away. On the south side of the fight, there's a whole bunch of routing peasants, and oh yeah, there's a Skull Cannon. I kind of forgot you existed, my friend. Anyway, the Chromatic Horrors and the Skull Cannon are going to push away those Mounted Yeomen, but the Nurglings and Pox Riders that are down here probably have to be pulled up to the center area to help with that fight, because they've already won the southern fight. We just need to keep moving on. Skull Cannon whiffs a bit of its shot, and the Blood Shrine of Khorne is going to continue chasing things that are routing. Archers are shooting at this Blood Shrine at point-blank range, while halberds try to poke at it. And Skull Cannon fires in as well. Blue Horror ROR trying to get some damage done. Barons of the Bog in. Balance of power is about dead even, and I would tend to agree. Honestly, this game is far from over. As the demon reinforcements from the south side where they were winning are coming up, the Blood Shrines are just running through stuff, healing it up. Fighting that Prophetess of Beasts. I like the Toads, but I barely ever play Nurgle. Yeah, the Toads are badass. So anybody that's not near a Grail Relic, like these guys aren't getting the Grail Relic buff, they're having a really hard time with their leadership. And they are going to rout quite soon. Blood Shrines are healing up through all of this damage, as long as they stay outside of the halberds for, they don't stay in the halberds for too long at one point in time, as long as they kind of keep cycling through. They'll be okay. And Bretonia just not having the heavy-hitting cavalry that they are used to having. The Blood Shrines are largely able to go where they please. MTV's Pimp My Toad. Toads are crap. They should pimp them up. Anyway. Second Manticore summon is out for Bretonia. Second Fury summon is out for the Demons of Chaos. Pox Riders and Nurgle trying to hang out next to this Blood Shrine and get the extra melee stats that will give them the victory. Blood Shrine's trying to fight the Prophetess, but Demons of Chaos are falling behind on the balance of power. Skull Cannon continues to fire. And these, the Barons of the Bog are getting a mass rout in the backfield. They get 4 units all routing near them. Hopefully they can walk all those guys off. Meanwhile, some Peasant Bowmen are returning, but maybe the Furies can dive over there and kill them off now that these archers have shattered. How are we doing here? Blood Shrines, hanging on. Pox Riders, hanging on. Very little infantry left, like 1 Nurgling and those Chromatic guys. Furies and the Skull Cannon managed to rout some stuff on the backfield. Though these Furies need to get off of that Shattered unit. No one cares about the Shattered unit. You guys need to move over there. What is that? A Fascination. Oh yeah, this is Demons of Chaos, so they do get occasional spells. They really need a Fecundity. They need a Fecundity to heal up this Herald of Slaanesh, who does throw down the Locust of Grace for extra melee defense and physical resistance. She's just trying to survive for now. The second Manticore summon will fade very soon, and then the threats onto this Herald of Slaanesh are greatly reduced. The Fury summon is gone. Unfortunately, it did not chase off those archers, which leaves Bretonia with actually a pretty powerful unit. But that full health Manticore was a big part of the balance power. So you can see as soon as it fades, there's a big jump up in the favor of the Demons of Chaos. The Chromatic Abominations still have ammunition. They have a lot of ammo. Good God. Okay. Well, they're firing in, doing stuff. More Mounted Yeomen are routing. The Skull Cannon is rejoining the fight, and these 3 big chariots of Khorne are going to be really hard to deal with. As Mounted Yeomen, triple gold chevron or not, you guys are way too dead to deal with these Chromatic boys as they dive back in. Barons of the Bog continue to chase off random shit, and archers are going to go after them, it looks like. Kind of curious that the archers don't want to just shoot it on the chariots, but I guess whatever floats your boat. 1 Grail League is almost dead. The other Grail League is fine since they don't stack. That is perfectly acceptable. Herald of Slaanesh getting real low. Takes a dive from that Prophetess. Can the Herald of Slaanesh get a Fecundity out of the RNG of what spells the Demons of Chaos get in their army-wide thing? Or not? Also, it is based off of her damage, so I guess she hasn't been getting out the most damage, so she doesn't get the most army passives, but a Fecundity could be a quick GG here. Acquiescence is cast onto her, while the Curse of Honor here is cast onto everybody for the Demons of Chaos. But there's no pole arms here. I just realized that. So there's no halberds dealing with the blood shrines or anything like that. They're just rolling free and dirty. Archers and halberds trying to deal with the Barons of the Bog in the distance, getting decent little poke damage down onto those Nurgle units. But without any of the halberds being here, that means the Grail and the Lord are getting sniped out without any support at the moment. Bretonia falls disastrously far behind on the balance power. It might be GG, especially because this lady's about to rout. She routes, bounce power shifts, but ooh, Demons of Chaos all of a sudden lose their Lord. Can Bretonia hold on? Because if this lady can get up into the skies, no, army losses hits. I was going to say, without the Lord, Barons of the Bog would have probably faltered, the Pox Riders would have probably faltered, and the Demons were about to lose a lot of stuff. GG. GG. So Demons of Chaos did beat the fearsome Bretonian peasant tide. With their chariots actually didn't get as much damage as I thought, but they were there. They were disruptive. Pox Riders did Nurglings did Blue Horrors, the chromatographic guys did great. Pink Horrors did okay. And actually the Foot Herald did fine. GG. Aside for killing Smalls, did his best with the mounted yeomans. Peasant Archers not getting their value back, honestly. Spearmen did okay. Pole Arms did alright. GG. It is Lizard time. The last game of round 2. It is Lizard time. I don't know why you people are obsessed with lizards, but you are. And that is what you'll get. Okay, alright, where are we? What's going on? Who's around me right now? What do we need? Grand Cathay versus Lizards. Yep. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is a lizard build. That is two Engine of the Gods. The space laser ones. 4 Chameleon Stalkers, 3 Saurus, 3 Skin Cohorts of Javelins, and Tehenowan. Okay. That's wild. Weird, Lucinia. That's weird. We've seen the Grand Cathay build before. It's 3 balloons, one of which has a Lord Magistrate in it. Oh, I just realized that this Grand Cathay build has no caster. There's no Winds of Magic here. Okay. And then it's a Jade build. Jade Warriors, Jade Halberds, Jade Warrior Crossbows, Jade Lancers. Everything's Jade. For Tehenowan, he is on his Ripperdactyl. Okay. More things we're learning. He has the Amber Spear. While on a flying unit, the Amber Spear is not very good. Curse of Honor here and Wiston's Wild Form. 2 Ancient Stegodons, Engine of the Gods, we did mention them before, the giant space lasers, and then some Saurus and stuff. Chameleon Stalkers are hot garbage. Tehenowan is hot garbage. And the Engine of the Gods lasers are only good when paired with a net, so like Mazda Mundi or something, and I see no net here. So I am extremely concerned that this build will have a tough time. Alright. Let's go. Let's see if the Grand Cathay player is on top of their micro and they could just dodge the little things. Also, of course, the Sky Lanterns have shield breakers, so the Saurus' shields are reduced, and they're taking way more damage from the crossbows. Of course, the fucking Sky Lanterns have that. Why wouldn't they? First Sky Laser is coming out. Tequila Sunset starts to dodge, and he is successful. The laser whiffs. The Saurus hit the front line, already entirely dead, as the laser continues to go absolutely nuts in the backfield. Chameleon Stalkers and Jav Skinks trying to hit those Jade Lancers. One of the Sauruses already routing, and Tehenowan's down to half HP as all of the Sky Lanterns start shooting at him, along with some of the crossbows. Chameleon Stalkers did just fly through the front line. They are here now to oppress the poor Cathayans inside of their formation. This isn't even a box, it's honestly just a couple of lines, which is fine. Sky Lantern needs something to be actually useful. True. Another beautiful dodge from Tequila Sunset. Won't let those Sky Lasers touch him, not even once, not even a little bit. And Tehenowen still getting poked out by these Sky Lanterns and by the archers, is down to about 1/3 of his HP. Chameleon Stalkers in the backfield are just getting disrupted by the Jade Lancers. That's about all. The Giant Engine of the Gods are now attacked by Halberds. We will see how that goes for them, as they could try and get back here and disrupt the back line. They're trying to. Amber Spear does a little bit of damage to the Jade Warriors, but again, that poke is really measuring up onto Tehenowen. I feel like the Lizardmen are overly hurt more so than most factions by the 4 SE limit, though I'm not sure in multiplayer mind. I mean, yes, they could use more single entities, but the 4 single entity limit was brought upon because we watched builds with 5, 6, and 7 single entities, and it's like, well, this is dumb. So it was pretty much like, I've never seen a 5 single entity build that was fun to cast or play against, so we decided on 4. It was like the maximum, you know, in the parabola of too few and too many, it's like right in the middle of the sweet spot where it's like, yeah, 4 is the best middle scenario. The Ancient Stegodons are still trying to do stuff. I don't think they've used their second giant lasers just yet, but it's looking real bad for the Lizards as the Chameleon Stalkers just get absolutely nothing done, and Tehenowen is real low. Still getting poked out by the balloons. They're just poking. They're popping him. They're just popping him. And the Lizards, we are down to just 2 healthy-ish Saurus and 2 laser dinos. One of the lasers is going out onto these halberds. Can the halberds dodge? It looks like no, so that is going to be a direct hit. Big damage onto the Jade Warriors. Which means if that one got cast, another one's coming soon, I bet. I bet. Tehenowen is routing after the balloons popped him too many times. And it's over. Dude, it's over. I don't think even the most beautiful second laser shot could win this one. Henny Benny is back with 5 leadership and 200 HP. And here's the last one that is in fact dodged. It's actually going to friendly fire the Saurus if it goes all the way to completion. Bye, Saurus. We hardly knew ye. And that'll be army losses, I imagine, as there's too much stuff routing. The only thing not routing is that Ancient Stegodon right there, but it's just not enough, man. It's just not enough. Tehenowen's coming back into balloon range, so he could be shot at a moment's notice, and there's army losses. It feels very limiting to them. Yeah, I was just saying that I don't think anybody enjoys playing around like 6 or 7 single entities. Like, it's just not very fun. It's, you either get slapped, like if you lose to just a bunch of single entities cycle charging you over and over again, you're pissed. And if you have the stuff to kill single entities, then it's a very easy and quick game. So it's just kind of like, the more single entities you let be used at the same time, the less satisfying it is for either player. Chameleon Stalkers did fuck all. That unit is trash now. Saurus didn't really get a lot done either versus Grand Cathay. Engines of the Gods both got about 1,000 value, which is fine. Tehenowen got cucked. Are Cathay better in land battles? Cathay are very good in land battles. Top tier. Ogres and Bretonia are above them, but besides that, Cathay's like the 3rd best faction. Debatable with some other ones, but they're in there. Alright, so that was the end of round 1. Oh my god, that is a lot of casting back to back to back. Ooh. Okay, let's do this. And then I'm going to move you over. So we now see who has won. And there are no more buy rounds. Every build, we have seen it already once before. We have 4 games left, then 2 games, then 1. So 7 games left. Let's go. Let's go. It's a marathon casting stream. So what do I need? Actually, yeah, what do I need? Scroot and Strat Game. Greenskins and the thingy. Empire versus Greenskins. Alright. Away we go. We will be getting much shorter on the this build versus this build stuff because you have seen on these builds before. It is the Empire stat stick with a bunch of buff and debuff spells versus the Greenskin. This one doesn't have as easy of a this is what it is, but kind of a little bit of everything build. 4 archers in the back, 2 goblin archers, one of which is the ROR, 2 orc horror boys. We have an orc boar boy biggin and a wolf rider on each side. We have 2 goblin wolf chariots, 2 goblin big bosses, plus a goblin shaman on a wolf for a caster, 2 river trolls, one of which is the swamp things, and a front line of nasty skulkers, night goblins, and orc boys. What up, Nagetsu? How you doing, man? How you doing? Sky Lantern's one-shot chosen models. That's spooky. The Empire stat stick is spreading out as far as possible, trying to really limit whether the Greenskins can flank them or not. Looks like we have a bit of kiting, so I will go ×2 speed real fast as the armies tried to figure out where they're going. Alright, Empire playing back to bed. There's no war wagons, but yeah, that's fair antagonist. Both sides kind of mamby-pambying around to find a good engagement as the Goblin Great Shaman just goes hog wild. It's going straight for Gelt, but Gelt has spears nearby, so he decides against it and runs away, which is fair. I don't blame you at all. Meanwhile, Orc Boarboy Biggins, the Broken Tusk Mob, fight some Halberdiers. That's not going to go their way, so they do run away, but now the Goblin Wolf Riders will get onto the Free Company Militia. Do they even do that much damage, though, as these guys have juiced stats? The charge does almost nothing, and now the goblins are going to get traded back on. Meanwhile, the halberdiers will get separated out by the river trolls, and we'll see if those boys can handle it. Meanwhile, night goblins and 1,000,000 archers just destroying that poor halberdier. He is gone. Transmutation of lead, lowering these guys' melee attack to almost 0 to help those spearmen really last forever. And the Free Company Militia are bodying those wolf riders. And the halberdiers did scare away all of the big units. While Free Company Militia continue to fire uphill, they're going to hit some of those Goblin Wolf Riders. Now, a lot of the Empire build is over on this flank, unfortunately, with nothing to do. They were kind of positioning for those Greenskin mobility elements, but those guys can just avoid the fight if they don't want to take it. So those guys do have to come down here and help out with the rest of the fight if they want to be useful. Greenskins are really separating out the Empire force and picking off anything that is left out on its own, as the Goblin Buff Boy squad decides to beat up Balthazar Gelt for a little bit. They're going to take out the Caster and Lord of the Empire, while some Night Goblins and Orc Boys try and stop the Pistoliers, the Free Company Militia, from doing anything about it. The Empire is still trying to rotate some of these infantry over to the fight, but Boarboy Biggins and Goblin Wolf Riders just kind of threaten. They just threaten to do something about it, and that is enough to distract these guys for a little bit. Gelt did avoid the snipe opportunity, but all 4 of these archers are here now, and they're firing in onto the spearmen, it looks like. With the spearmen routing and then a charge in from all these other units, it looks like the Free Company Militia are going to rout. And Gelt really hurts himself with a big overcast. I don't even know what the overcast was, but it's something. Glittering Robe upgraded. Oh, he tried to give his guys armor, but it was too late. They're already routing, and Gelt took a lot of damage for that. River Trolls are getting sniped out by the Free Company Militia. We're finally here. Some Halberdiers also still coming down the pike. Bounce power is favoring the Greenskins, and I do tend to agree, as the Goblin Snipe Squad goes after the Warrior Priest. Not getting a lot of done, not a lot done onto him, but they're trying. And it looks like there's just this roaming Archer Goon Squad that is sniping out, like... Because the Empire stat stick is all about melee stats, but wherever the archers go, they're kind of deleting these guys. Halberdiers only have 30 armor and no shields. Free Company Militia have 25, so the archers are just killing everyone. Which is really funny. Alright, Warrior Priest is still trying to get away from the Goblin Goon Boys. Wolf Chariots did a little bit of skirmishing. Now that the pistols remember they existed, they're going to scuttle away, just being distracting and annoying, as is their birthright. Empire is mass routing. The Greenskins are closing in for the kill. The Snipe Squad continues to try and kill a basic Warrior Priest. And man, for how many snipey boys you have here, they have a really hard time killing anybody. Boarboy Biggins charge in, but they get intercepted by spears and halberds. Plague of Rust Overcast brings them down to 40 armor, and the Free Company Militia are going to try and punish them as they retreat. Some pistol fire in the back. Oof, big damage onto those boar boys. So nice little combo there from the Empires to try to scrap it back. Though a lot of Imperials are routing, and there's still these 4 healthy and plenty of ammunition archers firing in, having the best time of their lives. Ooh. Oh no. Goblin Great Shaman, the Lord is stuck in the triple gold chevron spears, but the spears have attack orders onto something else. So they don't realize the prize that is in their hands. They are not trying to attack him, and he will be able to escape. So in the chaos of battle, the Greenskins almost made a massive whoopsie, but they managed to avoid it. Witch Hunter is sniped out by the Snipey Snipe boys. Gelt's still pretty low. The Empire is down to a full health spear, 2 wounded halberdiers, and 3 full health Free Company militia versus 4 very healthy archers and then pretty healthy other stuff from the Greenskins. Be'lakor and Malagor campaigns are my OP. Alright. Sounds lit, dude. Good for you, good for you. Gelt's running around, don't know where exactly he's going. Looks like he was just avoiding some damage earlier, now he's returning to the fight. The Free Company militia are firing freely into the Greenskins and getting some decent damage done, but, I mean, the archers are firing back. The balance of power is indicating my feelings about this as well. The Empire's just falling too far behind. Chariots getting ground down is a bit of a problem, but the Empire just doesn't. They don't have the teeth left. Thanks for showing off these awesome battles. I think Cool Umbrella, not me. I didn't do anything. I just showed up, and then my computer crashed because of a software issue. Empire force over here is barely holding on to life, but army losses will take that life away from them. That is it for the Stat Stick Empire. They had a good run. They had a fierce run, but nothing lasts forever. Halberdiers, mixed value. Overall not great because Greenskins just avoided a melee fight with them. The Spears got a little bit more of a scrap, and the Free Company militia did a little bit more, but yeah, Greenskins mostly just let their archers do the work. I imagine those archers got some pretty good value. The Goon Squad did okay. Archers, 800 for them. 500, 500, 500. Wow, not as much as I thought, honestly. Yeah. Okay. Pretty low values across the board. GG. Okay, let's get this back up. Blocker. So, we need Fat Kid at Recess versus Sir Groot. Sir Groot's the Warriors of Chaos. Recess was Slaanesh. Okay. I can do that. There it is. Slaanesh walk. Slaanesh walk. The Rainbow Knights and the Spellless Archaon versus Slaanesh. Can he do it? Can the mad lad do it? Can we thank you for being an awesome person then? GG, by the way, love Greenskins. You can thank me for being an awesome person. I'll accept it, even if I don't agree with it. We've talked about builds before, but very briefly, we have 2 Chosen with Halberds, 4 Rainbow Knights, all facing inwards to get their glory speech while Archaon rides around in circles, doing his best gladiator impression, giving his speech to the men, and then Marauders on the outside. And the Knights will move out. They now have their orders. Slaanesh awaits. Quick fast forward as the Chaos take their position. Speech is done. And the armies engage. It is 8 Marauders of Slaanesh, 4 with spears, 4 without, one of which is the ROR Princess of Perfection, 2 Exalted Demonettes, one of which is the ROR Bringers of Beguilement with their Rampage. We have 1 Heart Seeker of Slaanesh, 2 Hellstriders with the Hellscourges, and a Demon Prince. Yeet. On the other side, Archaon does not have any spells, as I mentioned before. He has Slayer of Kings and Fight or Die. We have 4 Chaos Knights, 1 of each Chaos God, 2 Chosen with Halberds, and 4 Marauders. Just butt naked basic Marauders. Chaos Knights of Slaanesh charging in. It looks like a Phantasmagoria is getting cast on them to net them in place. There it is. It does not hit the Slaanesh Knights, who managed to avoid it. It does hit Archaon and the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch. Enfeebling Foes also under the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, bring them down to 28 melee defense. Meanwhile, across the front line, Slaanesh is bodying the Marauders. and the Chosen have yet to be engaged, while the Chaos Knights try and get a little bit of cycle charging off. They charge into these Marauders of Slaanesh, but get very little damage out, because that's just how Chaos Knights do these days for some reason. Their cycle charges really don't do that much damage. Things appear to be going well for Slaanesh in the early game. Killed a lot of Marauders. Chosen with Halberds, just taking a fight for now, though it looks like they're trying to opt out of it. No, the basic Marauders are running away. The Chosen are standing their ground and fighting. And this could be really bad. Demon Prince of Slaanesh lands, but if Archaon realizes it, runs in, pops his buffs, and like absolutely dumpsters that fool, that could be huge. Hellstriders trying to chase off the Chaos Knights of Slaanesh. Heartseekers also supporting them in this effort. Chaos Knights are trying to stop the Demon Prince, though the Demon Prince did chuck out Enfeebling Foe to make these Chaos Knights very pathetic in their stats. A rear charge from the Chaos Knights of Khorne does a little bit of damage to the Demonettes, just a little bit, and Archaon is going to chase the Demon Prince of Slaanesh. Chaos Knights of Khorne are disengaging from that cycle charge. I wonder if they're going back to charge again, or if they were going to try and chase down the Demon Prince. Looks like they're just going to let the Demon Prince go. Slaanesh has an awful lot of infantry left. The Chaos Knights of Slaanesh are not looking so good. Things are getting a little spooky for the Warriors of Chaos here, guys. Exalted Demonettes, though, about to start that demonic instability crumbling. You'll love to see it if you are a Warriors of Chaos fan. Chosen with Halberds getting mulched right now by the Brigands of Beguilement and the Princes of Perfection. That's going to be a terrible, terrible trade for those Chosen. The Chaos Knights, we have 2 at full health. Chaos Knights of Nurgle at about 3/4, and the Chaos Knights of Slaanesh are almost entirely dead. But the Demon Prince lands, and this is too bold. This is way too bold. Archaon's about to have a field day on that Demon Prince's ass. The Chaos Knights of Nurgle could even opt in if they wanted to, but Archaon's about to hit him. Fight or die, giving everybody better melee stats. A Rampage is onto the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, getting them down to half HP. So really big HP trade here in the favor of Slaanesh, but now is time for Archaon's revenge. He's going to beat that Demon Prince into the dirt. And these Chosen are almost dead. The Marauders nearby are also dead, and Archaon is in here. He's kicking tons of ass. He doesn't give a single fuck. That Demon Prince is down to half HP. Balance powers in the favor of the Warriors of Chaos as these Chaos Knights of Slaanesh continue to just grind it out. The Hellstriders, they don't give a single fuck over there. And the Heartseekers of Slaanesh are strangely not doing that well against such a target. Archaon continues to chase the Demon Prince, who's now below half HP, but he gets a little caught up on those spears, and the Demon Prince is going to get up into the sky. No, it actually looks like the Chaos Knights of Nurgle are keeping him on the ground for Archaon to catch back up. Heartseekers of Slaanesh charge into the Chosen with Halberds, trying to kill those guys off since they realized nothing was happening with the Chaos Knights of Slaanesh. And these Chaos Knights, man, are just going nowhere. That Tzeentch Knight took a lot of damage. I'll give it that, but other than that, man, the Slaanesh Knights were in a bad situation forever, and they just took 0 damage. Chaos Knights of Khorne try to rear charge. These guys get very little damage off, and now they're trying to run away. They have the Rampage app applied on them, so if they fall low enough in health, they will just turn around to their death, but looks like that's not going to be the case. These Chaos Knights of Tzeentch have to be very careful, though. If they get touched by that Rampage, they will stop, and you don't want them to stop. With the Bringers of Beguilement and these Elite Spears here, they will just have a terrible time. Rampage was not applied to them. Looks like they will get away as Archaon is stuck fighting these guys. And this could be a big turning point for Slaanesh. If they dive in here, Archaon gets Enfeebling Foe. Rampage is applied on him, but it hasn't procced yet. And if the Demon Prince of Slaanesh just lands in here, while Archaon's at 51-31 for stats, that could be huge. But Archaon actually gets away. He gets out. He's okay. Demon Prince is going to land on those Chosen for a bit. On the far side, Chosen and Marauders still scrapping it out to the best of their ability versus an unholy tide of Marauders. Heartseekers rear charge onto Chaos Knights of Nurgle, and with the Demon Prince's debuffs, they should trade very effectively here. While the Burgers of Beguilement and the Princes of Perfection fight to the very end against Archaon, Fight or Die popped, and Slayer of Kings. Man, he loves popping that versus Chaff. He's clearing out tons of Chaff with it. I haven't seen him pop it to fight the Demon Prince of Slaanesh yet. I guess he just doesn't respect the Demon Prince. Hates him. Princes of Perfection are routing. Bringers of Beguilement almost dead. And Slayer of Kings is still on while he goes to fight the Demon Prince, who does pop Enfeebling Foe, so down to 43-36. Still actually pretty good melee stats despite all the debuffs on him. And Archaon continues to scrap it out. Heartseekers of Slaanesh still suck. I don't know why this unit sucks, but they suck. They aren't even doing damage to Chaos Knights of Nurgle, which is like a great target for them, so they're trash, and I don't know why. Bringers of Beguilement starting to fade away. These Chosen with Halberds that have been in this fight this whole time with units that should murder them actually held on. So go Chosen with Halberds, go. Heartseekers continue to fight off the Nurgle Knights. Looks like the Slaanesh Knights are gone, or they rejoined this fight. So we have the Nurgle Knights, Tzeentch, And the Chaos Knights of Khorne. Yeah, I don't know where the Slaanesh Knights are. They might have been pushed off the map. Archaon continues to fight the Demon Prince of Slaanesh. Things get worse and worse for Slaanesh, as now this guy is fighting alone in the middle of Knights, Archaon, and Chosen with halberds. Another enfeebling foe onto Archaon, trying to make him pathetic. But Archaon will never be pathetic. His stats are too high. He is too good. Too strong. Some Slaanesh units are rallying. Heartseekers continue to try and finish off these Nurgle guys, and a ton of chaff for Slaanesh is way off in the distance, trying to rejoin this fight too late, as the Demon Prince gonna fall to Demonic Crumbling if Archaon hits it one more time. Which he is trying to. He's trying his ass off right now. There it is. There's the big hint, and yep, it's gonna Demonic Instability Crumble. When he does, army losses might honestly hit. There's been a lot of damage to these Chaos Knights and stuff, but without the Prince, I mean, there's just not enough left here. We've seen this song and dance before. Infantry versus Chaos Knights. Demon Prince is gone. No way it rallies from this position. And army losses hits. GG. The Rainbow Knights of Warriors of Chaos will continue to win. Heartseekers paid for themselves, but they got so many good fights that they should have done way more. Heartseekers just blow. Brains of Guilement did great. Other Exalted Demonists did okay. Hellstriders of Slaanesh got nothing done, and the Marauders of Slaanesh did okay. Demon Prince really struggled to get his value back, though. For Sir Groot, Archaon did just fine. His various Chaos Knights did okay. His Chosen did well, and his Marauders did fine. GG. Alright, let's keep it rolling. So what was that? Okay. Oops, okay. I didn't realize that moved with you guys too. My bad. I was just trying to see what was going on, but I forgot it moved for you guys too. We have Razel and Alfair, and then Lucinia and Tequila Sunset, and then we'll get into the semifinals. Beastmen and Khorne, Demons of Chaos, and Grand Cathay. Whew. Okay, what one do I need? Beastmen and Khorne. This is it. Alright. Beastmen Warriors of Chaos. Once again, you've seen these armies before. A triple Bestigor, Torx Brass Bull, a Beast's Caster with Pan's Penetrable Belt and Wissen's Wild Form, 4 Gore Herds, 4 Centaurs with great weapons, one of which is the Sons of Goros, ROR. On the other side for Khorne, we have 4 Marauder Horsemen throwing axes, a whole bunch of Marauders, a lot of them with dual weapons. We have 1 Skull Crusher, 1 Chaos Warrior, and 3 Shrines, one of which is the Chaos War Shrine of Khorne, the other 2 are Blood Shrines. We have a Foot Herald with his AoE thing. Did I miss any Engine of the Gods action? Yes, you did with the Lizardmen versus Grand Cathay, but only one of their lasers out of 4 cast hit because they are very easy to dodge. So Khorne is going to try and skirmish a little bit before the melee fight engages. The Beastmen have no range to counter it, so they just want to get... Khorne wants to get out whatever damage they can. The Beastmen just want to start the fight. So Bestigors are charging forward. Torx is also getting in here. Gore Herds will fight as well. The Beastmen are in a bit of a pickle with 4 Centaurs with great weapons versus 4 Skirmish Cav of Khorne plus a Skull Crusher. I actually think Khorne would win the mobility fight. So, we'll see how this goes. The Beastmen infantry are going to have to crush these Marauders of Khorne. And Torx tries to catch out this Blood Shrine of Khorne. Maybe snipe that, get rid of the healing, get rid of the AoE melee buffs. And Centaurs with great weapons, just avoiding the fight for now. Just letting the infantry do their thing, as Bestigors are going to pound through Marauders. Khorne, the Mark of Khorne lowers your melee defense because I guess CA hates Khorne. So the Beastmen's lackluster melee stats are actually fine versus Khorne. You can still get through their front line pretty easily. Gore Herds into the backfield, and now that the mobile elements have to be used on the front line, this is when the Centaurs are going to kind of close in and pounce. They are diving in with the Skull Crushers. I wonder if they get any spell support to really take out those guys, but it looks like they don't even need it, as their melee prowess is doing quite well. They are crushing through the Skull Crushers. A Horn of Khorne is popped. Actually, it's a Locust of Wrath to give them insane melee stats, but it's not you're not dealing damage, it's that you're taking so much damage. So these Khorne guys need some sort of defense. The front line is getting crushed. Trox is pushed through. A lot of his Bestigors are also slamming through this Khorne front line. And Khorne's heavy armor, well, actually, his Marauders don't even have heavy armor. They're just low as fuck. Melee defense stats are not helping them at all. Wiston's Wild Form giving the Bestigors even more armor and a little bit more damage as Trox continues to do good things. Balance power shifting slightly in the Beastmen's favor, though I think this is a disaster for Khorne so far. Some of their skirmish cav is trying to battle their way out. They are pretty good melee combatants, so they're still doing well there. But Trox is in the backfield uncontested. Overall, Khorne is in mass exodus. And we're quickly getting down to just some skirmish cav and the single entity chariots versus the world. Balance power shifts further in the favor of the Beastmen. Can the Beastmen actually chase off the Khorne units, though? As the skirmish cav are rather healthy. They are going to take a fight with these Centaurs, but Razel has a second Centaur ready to rear charge them, and with both of these Centaurs, they should be able to push off that skirmish cav. Another skirmish cav was chasing Centaurs, but it is going to come back to the fight now, allowing that Centaur on the top side to rally. So there's just too much going on, man. Khorne can't keep up with it all. They're getting pushed around. Centaurs now, with Domain over the backfield, will chase off anything that routes, and that is probably the death knell for Khorne, and Khorne does just FF, not grinding through it, realizing the jig was up. Trox didn't get a lot of damage value. Centaurs with great weapons got pretty good value. Bestigors did fine. Goreherds did okay. On the other side, for Alfair / Gelato, Lord and Shrine struggled to get value. Skullcrushers also struggled to get value. Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes actually did pretty okay, considering how short the game was. They did fine, and Marauders did okay. But they weren't enough. And that is a GG. So the last game of the quarterfinals will be Tequila Sunset versus Lucinia. Demons of Chaos versus Grand Cathay. And while we load in, I will get the blockers out of your way, but I realize I'm missing a game. I need Greenskins semifinals game. Where is it? I hope this is it. Yes, it looks like it is. Okay, so now I've saved all the games. Has there been an instance of somebody's list being determined to be too meta? Grand Cathay, maybe. They don't have a caster. They don't have a caster is the problem. That's the only non, super meta thing about this Grand Cathay army. Like, the balloons are a little silly, but, Cathay overall, this is generally what they want to do. Just, extremely armored infantry, Jade Lancers and Archers and stuff, so, yeah. I guess Cathay would be my vote for the most quote-unquote meta. Actually, the High Elves were pretty meta. Pretty meta. They just ran into a really tough matchup. So the builds, in case you haven't seen it, this is the Jade Cathay. It's 4 Jade Lancers, 4 Jade Warrior Halberds, 4 Jade Warriors with Sword and Board, 4 Jade Crossbows, and then 2 War Balloons and a 3rd War Balloon with Lord Magistrate in it, no caster. For the Forces of Demons of Chaos, we have 5 Nurglings, 2 Blue Horrors, one of which is the ROR. We have 1 Exalted Pink Horror ROR, 3 Plague Toad, all of them are Pox Riders. So 3 Pox Riders, one of which is the ROR. We have 2 Blood Shrines of Khorne, the Skull Cannon of Khorne, and a Foot Herald of Slaanesh with some AoE buffs. The Horrors are starting to fire in. Nurglings are already dying on the advance, and Demons of Chaos are trying to power their way through the front line with the buffs of the Blood Shrine of Khorne and the buffs of the Herald of Slaanesh, giving them very impressive melee stats. They are trying to get through the insane melee defense of Jade Warriors. In land battles, this is largely why Cathay is considered OP, as your 500 gold Jade Warriors have just insane melee stats when there's Harmony. The first Fury Summon is out, and already one of the Jade Warrior crossbows is routed by the blue and pink Horror Fire. Barons of the Bog trying to get through, and Halberds are being pulled up from the back line to assist the frontline engagement. Jade Lancers are also being pulled back to deal with the summoned Furies. The war balloons are not being targeted by anybody so far, and they are all firing in onto the Herald of Slaanesh, slowly poking her down. Again, there is no healing for her at all, and Jade Lancers are now starting to roll up on the back line. The Blazing Squealers will handle themselves well in melee combat, as will the the Abominations. They'll be fine, but still stopping them from shooting is an admirable feat. Nice little Lash of Slaanesh for some poke, but it's mostly to give the demons more melee attack. Skull Cannon is firing down the line of these Jade Halberds. If it actually gets a really good shot, it could do decent damage. Like that, takes about a fifth of their health off in one shot. Bounce power is still dead even, though this is where things get real bad for the Demons of Chaos usually, when they run out of their initial gas. The Barons of the Bog are close to that demonic instability crumbling. Their Lord is getting slowly sniped out. Once the demonic instability crumbling starts, it feels like it's just a chain reaction of things falling apart. Acquiescence onto the Jade Warrior Halberds, trying to lower their stats. And the Halberds continue to poke at the Herald of Slaanesh, slowly and slowly whittling her down. She's already down to close to half HP. Jade Lancers cycle charging the backline, just trying to stop these blue and pink horrors from firing in. Maybe lower the stats of the other units just a bit. Skull Cannon is contributing to the melee fight, just trying to get some ammunition back, as another Lash of Slaanesh berates Grand Cathay. On the backfield, Grand Cathay is rallying, firing some little archers in, just trying to do some poke damage. Barons of the Bog barely hanging on to life, and their Herald of Slaanesh is now below half HP. If the ranged units are shut down or run out of ammo, the balloons will actually be unkillable, because there's no flying units. There's no flying units for the Demons of Chaos in this build, so they can't stop the balloons from doing whatever they want. Cathay's starting to pull ahead a little bit on the bounce power. It's still very close to even. But the Barons of the Bog are gone. These Nurglings are close to follow. More Jade Warriors are routing. Skull Cannon's riding through the back line to continue routing them. And the last Fury Summon is out. Ooh, but it bugged. You can see the portal there leading into nothing, so the Fury Summon bugged. Okay, he still has a use, so maybe it got canceled and he can just use it again. Hopefully for his sake. Nurglings fade away. Pox Riders fade away. And the Furies are back. Skull Cannon tried to fire at something and just went whizzing past our screen. That was a little scary. That was a little spooky. I didn't like that whatsoever. Goodbye to some of the demonic units. Balance power goes more in favor into Cathay's pocket as the balloons continue to just poke and prod at this Herald. They will eventually get her. The Jade Lancers also trying to stop this backline area. That's going fine for them. And this is a Fury Summon. They will go away soon. Pox Rider is getting real low, as is the Herald. Chromatic Abominations and the Blazing Squealers still have plenty of health. They have a lot of love left to give, and the Skull Cannon plus the Blood Shrines could heal quite a bit if they're allowed to cycle charge and such. But the Herald pops Locus of Grace just to give herself physical resistance. She's down to like 700 HP, while 3 balloons are shooting at her. That is pretty rough. And the Furies fade away now, so no more chasing for them. Jade Warriors and Halberds and all that stuff just try to get a little bit, whatever poke damage they can off onto these Pox Riders and everything. They're just doing whatever little bits of damage they can to really get these guys off the map. There goes the Pox Riders. Another Lash of Slaanesh. And honestly, the ground forces for Cathay are looking really beat up, but these 3 Sky Lanterns are entirely untouched, and they're just poking down the Herald of Slaanesh who starts her demonic instability crumbling. So without her, there will be no more melee buffs, no more melee defense buffs, anything like that. And also the leadership for the demons is going to tank. So I think these 2 Nurglings will be close to leaving. The Blazing Squealers will also leave very soon. And now the balloons can refocus onto the single entity chariots. They can just start shooting at them. As we lose 3 demonic units in the blink of an eye, all 3 of those infantry are gone. Bounce power staying about where it was. But yeah, we have some rallied archers who are doing okay. A good amount of halberds left. We're all harmony buffed up by the balloons. Except these guys are bugged. For some reason, they're not getting a harmony buff from this balloon. Does he not? He doesn't count as a Yang caster for some reason. That's really dumb. Don't know why. Too bad to Micro. Thank you for the $5. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but I'm trying my best, so thanks for that, buddy. The last infantry units left are the 2 ROR Horrors of Tzeentch, Exalted Pink and Blues. They are now starting to fire up at the balloons, get a little bit of damage out there. No, they were aiming at something behind it, and the angle I was casting at was trolling me. Balloons continue to fire at something. Don't know what. Don't know what right now. Skull Cannon's getting awfully low. Blood Shrine's getting a little low. The Skull Cannon does fire onto the balloons, but yeah, there's just nothing that can hurt them at this point, man. Skull Cannon would take way too many shots to kill these guys. Thanks for all the work you and the community does. Keep up the good work. Thanks, man. We're doing our best. Cathay is grinding on as the horrors continue to do their best. Honestly, the Demons of Chaos fought like hell, but I don't know what they can do about the 3 balloons up here that are just slowly pinging down their big single entities and getting this closer to army losses. As the infantry fade away, army losses will kick in. That is it for the Demons of Chaos. So our semifinals will be Grand Cathay, Beastmen, Greenskins, and someone I forgot, honestly. War Lanterns and the Lord Magistrate did fine. Jade Lancers did fine. Jade Warriors, pretty good. Jade Warrior Crossbows did okay. They got mostly routed, and Jade Warriors did fine. So overall, the whole Cathay build is just pulling its weight as one. For Lucinia, it was an admirable attempt. His chariots did not get a lot of value, but they're very disruptive and annoying. Pox Riders, I could say the same about. They didn't get a lot of value, but they were very disruptive and annoying. Nurglings did okay. Once again, the RORs did fine. GG. Whew. Chilly. I have an air vent hitting me. Dead on. Dead ass. So where are we at? Okay. This. So I will scoot that a little bit. Oh yeah, we have the Rainbow Knights versus Greenskins, and then Beastmen versus Grand Cathay. Gotcha. Gotcha. And I have all 3 builds with me right here. Okay, let's get these blockers down. Greenskins versus Warriors of Chaos. The Rainbow Knights of King Arthur versus the hodgepodge of a bunch of shit that I can't easily define into a theme. It's the gumbo. The gumbo build. A little bit of everything. Archaon, as he has every time, rallies his troops, rides around in a circle, giving his epic speech to them as the Chaos Knights of Slaanesh, Nurgle, and Tzeentch all listen up. The chosen with halberds look a little confused, and marauders on the outside go, "What did he say? What did he say?" Is there any use for Bestigors? Bestigors are not great. They're not terrible, but they're not great. Their melee stats aren't high enough to utilize their high weapon strength and armor piercing, and then they have heavy armor, but what's the point of being defensive as a Beastman, because you're not defending anything? You don't have good archers or artillery. So that's my spiel. Maybe like tabletop it could be good without stealing someone else's turn. Maybe. Archaon does not have spells, because apparently King Arthur was not a wizard, and I guess that's the whole theme there. Meanwhile, for it, the Greenskin build, if you hadn't seen it before, we have some Orc Boys, some Night Goblins, some Nasty Skulkers, 2 Goblin Chariots, 4 Archers, 2 of which are Orcs, 2 of which are Goblins, 1 of which is the Rusty Arrers, 2 Goblin Wolf Riders, 2 Orc Boar Boy Biggins, 1 of which is the ROR Broken Tusks mob, 2 River Trolls, 1 of which is the ROR the Swamp Finks, 2 Goblin Big Bosses, and a Goblin Great Shaman. Triple fast forward while the players reform. Archaon, after he does his speech, does need to actually form up an army. And Archaon just holds up his big-ass shield, and some greenskin arrows hit him. And then he, that looked like he staggered because the Chosen slammed into his butt. So here we go. The greenskins stand ready. Goblin Wolf Chariots firing off little shots. Trying their best to do damage. The Goblin Wolf Chariots are one of the most bullshit-ass missile strength things I've ever seen. It says their missile strength is 73, while, Orc Arboys have a missile strength of 18. But, if you look at the DPS, man, Archer units do way more. Knights of Slaanesh just slam straight into the front line, as do the Chaos Knights of Nurgle and Khorne. The Khorne Knights are actually slaughtering some Wolf Riders right now, and the Tzeentch ones are trying to get involved, but they're a little slower on the uptake than the rest. Chosen with Halberds already down to about half HP from the mass focus fire of the Greenskins, and the Tzeentch Knights have again slammed in the front line, routing off Goblin Wolf Riders everywhere. Meanwhile, Archaon's going hog wild through here. I wonder if he pops Fight or Die soon, or if he already did, and it's just worn off that quickly. So Chaos is a spooky force. The Slaanesh horsemen look like they're trying to ride around the sides and get their rear charges off. They do have the Slaanesh passive that helps with that. The Marauders plus the Chosen with Halberds are getting through this front line slowly but surely. Sneaky Stab has popped onto the Orc Boarboy Biggins to give them actually significantly more damage against the Chaos Knights of Khorne. The Chaos Knights of Nurgle might want to offer support soon because Khorne's taking a lot of damage over there. Slaanesh Knights trying to get involved is just taking a while, and a Wa is popped to give the Greenskin front line a little bit more oomph. The Rusty Arrows also helping out with the Chaos Knights of Khorne, lowering their armor down to only 100. And these Chaos Knights of Nurgle, I wonder if they're going for the archers or if they're going to rear charge the Orc Boarboy Biggins and try to bail out the Khorne guys. It looks like they are going for the archers, so I guess fuck Khorne. No, they stop up there. That was either an accident or they are just being benevolent. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch having a really bad time, but Archaon dives in with Slayer of Kings, and he did have Fight or Die, though, just wore off. So he's trying to, it looks like he's trying to hit that great Goblin Great Shaman, but he's been distracted. And the Chaos Knights of Slaanesh briefly help with this fight, and then they say fuck it, and they're going to go deal with the archers. Chariots, Nasty Skulkers, and Boarboy Biggins and Trolls are fighting these knights up here, and things are going pretty poorly for Chaos. Their front line is faltering quite a lot. The balance of power shifting against them, and that northern flank is not going well. The southern flank is kind of undecided. So they're in one part of the map, things are undecided, and that's the best thing I can say about how it's going for them, which is bad. It's the Greenskin Freebooters army. I see. Alright. Effective armor cap was at 100. Khorne, Chaos Knights of Khorne have 130 armor when left to their own devices. So the archers are still mostly doing their own thing and firing. Balance power continues to get worse for the Warriors of Chaos. The Broken Tusk Mob are almost routed. These Chaos Knights of Tzeentch have had a bad time. Nasty Skulkers, a lot of HP and leadership, so they should rally in the distance. But a Terror Out finally comes in for the Broken Tusk Mob as the second Wa is popped. That's probably the last Wa of the game. Most games only get two. Very rarely can you get a third Wa. Chosen with Halberds continuing to grind through a whole bunch of infantry. The balance power comes back into Chaos' favor a little bit. Now the Chaos Knights of Nurgle are finally routed off. The Khorne guys dive in onto the Orc Boarboy Biggins fighting some Marauders. And Archaon, where is he? What's he trying to fight? He's fighting the Goblin Big Bosses. Still not a lot of snipe attempts onto the Goblin Great Shaman. I'm surprised Archaon hasn't been on his ass a little bit more aggressively. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch are going to chase off the Broken Tusk Mob. Best they can do with how injured they are. And the Chaos Knights of Slaanesh end up being the healthiest Chaos Knights left. And we have a big problem. All of a sudden, the Greenskins are just routing en masse as the Knights hit their archers and the Boarboy Biggins finally lose strength. We still have River Trolls. Where's the other River Troll? Where's the ROR? Oh, it's coming back, healing up a little bit. So the River Trolls are the last real melee slappas. We still have some Chosen in here, still have some Chaos Knights, though the Rusty Arrows are holding on for dear life. Night Goblin Archers and Orc Arboys running away. The Swamp Things charge back in with Sneaky Stabbing to give them more stats versus the Chaos Knights of Slaanesh. Archaon's trying to rally his troops, trying to keep everybody in the fight as Chaos is getting a second breath, but will the second breath be enough? Or will the Greenskins drown them? Get it? Like a tide? Like a green tide? The breath, because you need to breathe underwater? Get it? Because water's like a tide? Yeah, they are running out of gas really bad. The Chaos Knights of Slaanesh taking a ton of damage from these River Trolls. And the other troll is actually going to Terror Out, but I think it's just a Terror Out. I think it should come back. The Hero Core for the Greenskins is still strong. And the Chosen moving in. The Greenskins don't have a lot to kill the Chosen, honestly. The Swamp Things don't want to fight them. The Chariots really don't want to fight them. Nothing wants to fight these Chosen right now. Can the Chosen scrap it back? Look at the damage they're doing to those Chariots in melee. That's why the Chosen are spooky. The Archers need to deal with the Chosen, and they are rallying on the high ground. There are no Chaos Knights up here to really deal with them. Some Chaos Knights of Tzeentch are coming, but they're so injured, I wonder if the Archers can just peel for themselves. Still, Chaos is down on the balance of power, but the Chosen and Archaon do not give up. Swamp Things routed yet again. They only have one route left in them. The Chaos Knights of Tzeentch are going to get charged by Chariots to stop them, while the Archers all fire downhill. King Arthur has Merlin, right? He said Merlin was tired today. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, the Chariots are valiantly stopping them. Ooh, but Archaon gets a big snipe onto the Goblin Great Shaman. Slayer of Kings is popped, giving him 870 weapon strength versus a character that only had like 2,000 HP left. or something. But he turns around instead to fight the Goblin Big Bosses. This guy's going to tear out and route it naturally, but he should rally before he hits the edge of the map, so he will be fine. The archers are largely safe and clear to keep firing at the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch. They've done very little damage, and all of a sudden the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch are free to just go hit these guys yet again. Archaon is a big problem. He keeps routing off all these goblins. I actually don't know what can deal with Archaon. Maybe a good surround of like River Trolls or something. Goblin Great Shaman is back. Balance of power is still slightly in the Greenskins' favor, though it is starting to falter. It is starting to get a little concerned that the Green Beans can't actually hold on. Where are we at for Chaos Knights? Chaos Knights of Nurgle are so dead they're pretty much useless. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch are very, very close to dead. Chaos Knights of Khorne, Slaanesh are also very dead, and Khorne is in the distance. So the Chaos Knights are all but tapped out on usefulness. The Chosen are going to be a huge problem, though. The Chosen are still at the health we saw them at last. Archaon slapping this Goblin Big Boss, going to rout him, and they've slowly, with just pure tenacity and rage, pushed the Greenskins back against the edge of the maps. Now anything they rout does go off the field of battle. The Rusty Arrows are probably going to rally one more time. The Swamp Things are going to shatter when they break this time. There they go. And the River Trolls are just trying to finish off these Chaos Knights of Nurgle. With a downhill charge, they should be able to do so. But Archaon's still rolling dirty, and now for the first time all game, Chaos takes the lead on the balance of power. Chaos Knights of Slaanesh are attacked by Nasty Skulkers. Nasty Skulkers should honestly win that, considering how damaged everything is, but it looks like their leadership is going to falter. Seeing their own Lord rout in front of their very eyes is too much. They tear out and run away. Balance of power shifts dangerously far against the Greenskins, and I'm kind of surprised the Rusty Arrows haven't rallied yet. It feels like they're far enough away from these Marauders to do so, but no, they just go off the face of the earth. Everything is routing right now except for these two Orc Auror boys, but that is army losses. And the Chaos player really scrapping it back. Did not give up one bit. Damn. The Goblin boys just did not have anything to do. They couldn't fight Archaon. He was too buff for them. Boar Boy Biggins and the River Trolls did okay. Nasty Skulkers did pretty well, actually. Archers really struggled to get their value out, which was surprising. They fired a lot. They just didn't get any damage done. And Goblin Wolf Riders got cucked. Goblin Wolf Chariots also just died a lot. For King Arthur and his Rainbow Knights, Archaon did great. Rainbow Knights not showing a ton of value, but did do well. The Chosen with Halberds did very, very nicely, and Marauders did their best. 2 games left. The Rainbow Knights are in the finals. Who will face them, the Beastmen or Grand Cathay? GG did good match. That was a really good match. The Greenskins were ahead for so long, and then it was a comeback. All right. The Beastmen have had a good run. I mean, obviously, anybody who's gotten this far has had a good run. But can they defeat the Balloons? The Beastmen, with no ranged and no flying, literally can't touch the Balloons in any capacity. We have 4 Gore Herds, 3 Bestigor Herds, Torok's Brass Bull, a Beastcaster with Wisdom's Wild Form, and Curse of Honor here, and then 4 Centaur's Great Weapons, one of which is Sons of Goros. If you haven't seen the Cathay build, it is the Jade build. We have 4 Jade Warriors, 4 Jade Warrior Halberds, 4 Jade Warrior Crossbowmen, or 3. I thought it was 4, but it looks like 3 Jade Warrior Crossmen, 4 Jade Lancers, and 3 Balloons, one of which has a Magistrate inside of it. I don't see any possibility for Goblins to win against Archaon in any scenario. Yeah, I would kind of hope 2 Goblins wouldn't beat Archaon, the Ever-Chosen. That would suck, lore-wise. Beastmen are setting up a surround. Cathay is trying to punish them. I will triple fast forward till stuff happens. Alright, that was quicker than I thought, as the Bestigors are going to go inside of Archer range, and the Balloons get to shooting at Toroks. The 4 Jade Lancers on the flanks maybe will do okay versus the Centaurs. It largely depends on who gets the charge on who, and right now it looks like the Jade Lancers are going to get the charge on the Centaurs. Toroks is trying to come help out, but we'll see how much it matters, as Bestigors plow into the Jade Warriors, but the Jade Warriors have 3 more melee defense, and these guys have melee attack, so it'll take them a long time to get through the Jade Warriors, and during the entire thing they're just going to be getting clowned on by these crossbows, so that's a bad time. Jade Lancers were winning the cavalry fight, but now that Toroks is here and more Centaurs are collapsing in, they want to get out, they want to get back to their precious little box. 1 Bestigor is already routing, doing very little damage to the Jade Warriors, and this, for whoever was asking why Bestigors are not very good, this is why. Like, their armor piercing and stuff versus a 90 armor fight. This unit costs half as much as this unit, and they just held forever while archers dealt with them. Alright, one Centaur has taken significant damage. The other ones are doing just fine with the help of Torox and the caster. But while the cavalry fight is happening, the infantry fight is going very heavily in the favor of Cathay. We have a Gore herd that's already dead, a Best Gore herd that's already dead. And now that the Cathay archers are free to shoot, they're going to go shoot the cavalry fight, actually. They're more worried about what's going on their flank, which is fine. Best Gores are going to take forever to get through these Jade Warriors, so it's not really a problem you have to deal with just yet. Torox is still getting sniped slowly but surely by those balloons, and Cathay pulls ahead on the balance of power. Some Jade Lancers have rallied. Jade Warriors and the Crossmen are trying to get rid of these Gore herds, while more and more Centaurs are shattering and getting murdered. Other Centaurs are back. Their armor piercing could help them get onto these Jade Warriors, but with 21 melee defense versus 27 melee attack, it's not going to be a quick kill for the Centaurs. It will take them a little while. Spray Shaman of Beast rolls through here. Gore herds are pushed off. Bestigors still trying to get through Jade Warriors. Trying their best to get through Jade Warriors. It's not going great. For the Beastmen, they have stopped the archers from firing for now, but there are halberds streaming in that they either have to let the archers fire or they have to stay here and just accept they're going to get hit with a whole bunch of halberds. Meanwhile, the 3 balloons keep poking away at Torox. He's down to almost half HP at this point. Centaurs are going to peel these wounded Jade Lancers off of the Sons of Goros, so the Sons of Goros will return, though to what end, I don't really know. The wounded Bestigor from before is back. He is going to get a little bit of damage onto archers, while these Bestigors continue to try and get through the Jade Warriors. Bestigors aren't the best unit, but also this is showcasing why Jade Lancers are hated by Jade Warriors are hated by so many people in land battles, is it's like, ooh, I took a 500 gold invincible fucking unit. That's cool. Especially if they have a harmony bonus, which for some reason the balloons aren't providing as effectively I thought they would, but like this guy has 41 melee defense, which is insane for a 50 gold unit. Bray Shaman of Beasts is sniped out, it looks like, by the halberd surround, and now archers are shooting at him on his way out. Torox and his Centaurs have routed one of the Jade Warrior crossbow things. Jade crossbow warrior Jades. The Jades. Jades. But there's so many halberds, there's so many Jade Warriors left, and I don't know how they're going to get through it all. And as we said, they literally can't touch the enemy lord or these balloons that are just sniping out the caster as he runs away. Beastmen, the infantry that are in the backfield, are so wounded that they'll probably rout any second now. Their front line is slowly starting to win, but I don't know if it'll be enough. And the enemy caster might return. He's been getting poked by balloons still. By balloons. Cathay's front line holds. It surrenders to no man for no reason. Sons of Goros are fighting to the death. And a harmony at the last second by this Sky Lantern that's definitely here to help that Jade Warrior, and definitely not still just trying to shoot that guy. But the harmony it gives him enough leadership to keep fighting. And then he finally fades away. We are down to Torox and a Bestigor, but the game calls it. That is army losses. GG. Does the Cathay Lord have any abilities? He just had the AoE melee defense one. That's all he had. 666, the number of the beast for him. 800 and 630 on the other ones. Jade Lancers, mixed value. Overall did fine. Jade Warrior Halberds did good. Jade Crossbows did good. Jade Warriors did great. GG. Torox really struggled to get any value because he really wants to fight the enemy lord or heroes, and when all those are in the air, he can't do much about it. Bestigors got, like, barely any value each. Centaur's great weapons we're trying to carry, but the Gore herds really struggle to get too much done, so it's a toughie. It's a toughie, GG. That takes us to the last game of the day. So let's move the bracket one more time. I think now I move the top picture here. It is Rainbow Knights versus Grand Cathay for the finals. Which faction truly had the best meme build? Let's go. Okay, delete that one. Then delete that one. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it! Rainbow Knights versus Grand Cathay. Tournament's still going strong. This is the final game. This is the final game. We had a crash in the middle that was super fun because my software decided to shut down the stream in order to ask me if I'm me, which is not smart. We just saw the Cathay build, so I'm not going over it. You know it. It's the Jade Cathay build. If you haven't seen it, we have the King Arthur Rainbow Road build. A Chaos Knight of each god. Khorne, Slaanesh, Nurgle, and Tzeentch. Then we have 2 chosen with halberds, 4 basic marauders, and Archaon, the ever chosen with no spells, since he is supposed to be King Arthur. Fast forward while the army's set up. Balloons are poking in onto Archaon. Fast forward while the army's set up. There we go. Unless you really wanted to watch in normal time as Chaos Knights and Marauders walked slowly towards the Cathay. So once again, there is 0 ranged units, 0 flying units to punish the sky balloons in any capacity, so they can do whatever they want. Looks like for now they are shooting at the Chosen with halberds. Chaos Knights charge in onto the Jade Warriors, get very little damage down as the archers are going to counterfire. Jade Lancers are riding out to do glorious battle with them. And Archaon takes a little bit of damage, but it looks like most of the ranged units are still focusing on the Chosen with halberds. What up, Knighthood? Aren't balloons really weak to missiles and flying units? Yes, but not all factions have a ton of missiles or flying units. Alright, Jade Warriors still holding the front line against the Chaos Knights. Chaos Knights at Khorne are already down to half HP, while the Slaanesh Knights try and sneak their way through the front line to hit the back line. These Jade Warriors with crossbows are extremely armored, and that is a bad time for the Knights of Slaanesh, as they do no damage on the charge. And these Chosen that have been getting focus fired are already down to like 1/4 HP or less. Now there's another Chosen that's still full HP, but damn, losing a whole Chosen is rough. Marauders continuing to fight. Jade Lancers are going to tear out away from Archaon, but these Jade Warriors with halberds ain't going nowhere. They will fight to the last man. How else are we doing? Chaos Frontline's not having a great time. The Knights of Tzeentch are still fine. Slaanesh is half HP. Nurgle is like 2/3, 3/4, somewhere in there, and the Knights of Khorne are under half. As it looks like the balloons are still shooting at the Chosen of Khorne. Sorry, the Chosen with halberds. They really hate those guys, which I guess that's fine. Out of our 4 Marauders, 2 have broken. One of the Chosen is about to break. Oof, and the Chaos Knights of Slaanesh end up getting mulched down by the Jade Lancers. They will rout and maybe be chased off the edge of the map. While these Jade Warriors with halberds are going for a bit of a ride, they need to return home. And that they will. They won't go too far away from home. Chaos Knights of Khorne biting the dust at the moment, getting very low as the Chosen with halberds at last rout. All 3 of the crossbows are still doing pretty well as these Chaos Knights of Khorne were disrupting them, but not for long as they are now routing out of here. And I imagine the Jade Lancers can chase stuff off. Yeah, they're chasing those Slaanesh Knights off. They're trying to chase these Marauders off. They do take a charge onto the Chaos Knights of Slaanesh, but there's a lot of damage coming in here. And the shield breaker from these Sky Lanterns is proving really, really just tough for the Knights to deal with because their missile block chance goes down by quite a lot, and they take much more damage from the shots. Archaon is here with his Chosen with halberds, trying to stop the archers. Bounce power shifts heavily against them. The Chaos Knights of Slaanesh taking significant damage. Sorry, these are the Tzeentch ones. That's right. Slaanesh already went off the field. The Chaos Knights of Khorne rallied briefly, but are now also routing. And the last Chaos Knight that's actually still in the fight is Nurgle, as I think these Tzeentch ones are soon to go to their grave. For infantry, we have 2 extremely wounded Marauders and a half-health Chosen with halberds. Archaon is still doing fine. All 3 archers for Grand Cathay are chillin'. Big chillin'. The Chaos Knights of Khorne even shatters. They are officially gone. We still have 2 healthy Jade Lancers, 1 pretty wounded one and 1 extremely wounded one, but they're plenty to chase stuff off, like these Marauders who they're rear charging and routing. And things are going from bad to worse for Chaos as the balloons continue to harass the Chosen in the distance, harass Archaon even, reducing his missile block chance when they happen to hit him. And there's so many Jade units left, man. There's so many Jade Warriors that just have not been injured at all. Like, what can Chaos do against such relentless Jade? I will say, Grievin and everybody talking about the balloons, we have not seen a lot of balloons in land battles, though, because they are such a risk. If your opponent has good flyers, if your opponent has good missiles, they can very easily be taken out, and they are decently expensive. But in this tournament where Eldrin made all the builds, like, you just take what's given to you and stuff, and you also don't know the matchup ahead of time. So a lot of these builds from Eldrin have lacked significant flying or significant ranged pressure to really threaten the balloons. So there's a bit of a build diff there, but the meta for land battles overall has not been balloon centered at all, because if you have a single strong flyer, then that's 2,400 value worth of balloons just sitting up there waiting to get fucked. All right, Chaos Knights got very little done. Chosen also got very little done. The Jade stats were just way too high. For Tequila Sunset and Cathay, good win. Good piloting of the Jade build, but it did prove to be the strongest. As people in chat are saying, it's like, this is close. Like, if you take out all 3 of the balloons, this is very meta for Cathay to set up. So then it's like, all right, it's a meta setup. You just don't have magic and you have balloons running around, but yeah. So that is the gist of G's. If you care, Grand Cathay did win. There's the bracket. We cast every single game today. It was a banger. It was a banger. So, if you care, in the upcoming week, we have 3 streams. 4, actually, I guess. We have new player land battles on Wednesday, faction face-off, demons versus undead on Thursday, faction face-off of, well, not the faction face-off, it's just a face-off of the Grind Lords. It was for an event we did like 3 or 4 weeks ago, but we finally got all the games done. So we have those streams, and then on next Sunday, a week from now, I'll be doing the Friday Night Fights, Cool Umbrellas, like playoffs type big grand tournament thing. And that'll be fun. So we have 4 streams coming up in the next week. Hopefully you are excited for that. 3 of them are scheduled here. 1 is not scheduled just yet. So if you ever wonder what time they are, you can just check my channel's upcoming stuff and you'll see that. On the horizon, we have some exciting videos. We have some replay casts, as we always do, but we also have a Thankful 50-minute long lore video and a Queek Headtaker hour-long lore video set to come out, plus obviously some bugs and replays, so mixing in all the good content. Yeah, Queek comes out July 29th, and Thankful comes out August 2nd. So that should be fun. That's all I have for you today, my friends. You doing this week's Friday Night Fights? Probably not, Cool Umbrella. I'm doing the stream of you, Black Knight, and Strat Game versus the Birds. Thank you very much for streaming. Anytime, my dude. Anytime. Yeah, I'm busy Monday and Tuesday night, so I had 3 streams I had to fit in this week. Saturday, I have my cousin's wedding I'm going to, so it was like, well, that decides it for me. It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Ugh. Thankfully, the only thing I can say is thankfully my Friday stream that coincides with your Friday Night Fights doesn't feature any live matches, so I'm not taking any players from you. You just might have to let someone stream it. But yeah, that's what I got. All right, that was 3 hours. It's not my longest stream, but it was very exhausting because it was just back to back to back to back replays we were casting with no downtime. So I am exhausted. I'm gonna go. GG's to everybody. Congratulations to Grand Cathay. You have defeated King Arthur. Turns out King Arthur's legend ended with him charging into China and getting his ass Gatling gunned, which is great. All right. Aside all the whining, what whining? Who did whining? What happened? What's going on? Okay, goodbye. I'm not gonna turn it off. Fuck you. Can't make me turn it off. Gotta pad those stats. Gotta pad those stats. YouTube doesn't pay me unless every stream is 5 hours, so. And since there was a break in the middle, I'm not getting paid for the last stream, so to get paid for this one, I gotta leave it on for like 3 more hours. So, you get what you get. You get what you get. don't have anywhere to plug in my controller. I don't know how to play this on PC. What are the controls on PC? I only play this with a controller. Okay, this is jank. Okay, that's block. That's swing. Okay. Let's cycle through these. What does E do? Nothing? How do I roll? Space? Alright, we have what we need. Let's fucking go. God, I'm in this fucking swamp. I hate the swamp. How do we sprint? Shift? No, it's not shift. Is it control? Nope, not control. How do I sprint? Oh, shut up. There's a bunch of slugs over there. You good? Yeah, kiss my ass. How do I dual wield my sword? You know, I'm like not halfway. I'm like a third of the way through the game. This is not a good time to be fucking around when I don't know the controls. Because I'm actually like in dangerous areas where I can take damage. Yeah, fuck this. I'm leaving. I don't care about this place. I still don't know how to sprint! Oh, there we go. Spacebar. Nice. Fuck you. Fuck you. Nice. Dude, I actually have the Ember right now. I shouldn't die. Because I have more health than usual. I should not be taking these fights. How do I lock on? How do I lock on? Ah! Ah! Fuck you! I don't need to lock on to shit. Whew. Also, that volume's pretty loud. I bet I need to turn it down, but it's too late for that. We're busy. Eat my ass. Whew. Alright. What are we doing? What is this? Extinguish flame. A. What is A? What is A? What am I supposed to do with that? What is it? What? Oh, okay, A. Oh, I moved slightly to the left. A. I'm doing A. Stupid fucking thing. Whatever. Guess I don't need it. Is this an ambush? This doesn't feel right. I don't like the look of that. I don't like the floating testicle right above the item. I'm not gonna do it. Alright, let's do it. What? Someone's running. Oh, hi. Ah, you bitch. Didn't turn to swing again. Uh-oh. Ow! Ow! Stop. How do I heal? We gotta figure it out before we get poisoned to death. How do we heal? No! How do we heal? What? No, don't point it. Shit, heal, you dumb fuck. How do we heal? No! God damn it. I've hit, like, every key. What is heal? No! I don't want to die! No! What is heal? What the fuck is heal? You son of a bitch. No! Damn it! Why? What is heal on the fucking keyboard? Who made these controls? Who made these fucking controls? Heal's not any of the letter keys. It's not control. It's not alt. The fuck? Escape? No, it's not escape. It's not escape. What the fuck is heal? Settings. No, we're gonna figure this out right now. You dumb piece of shit. Making me lose my special life because you don't put heal on a normal fucking thing. Advanced settings, defaults, no one cares about that. Controller vibration, don't have a controller. Where are the stupid fucking key bindings? You piece of shit. Key bindings. What is heal? What is use item? Okay. Switch equipment, yeah, that's easy. That's nice. Attack, great. Use item, X or R. I used R! I clicked R, you dumb fucking piece of shit. My God. This game. This game. I hate this game, though. This game sucks ass. Lost my fucking ember in the middle of the woods. This game sucks. Alright. The bit's over. The meme's over. I'm leaving. See you guys later. R press on. Vanthus, you did know. You did know it was R. I swear I hit every key, but I think the problem was I hit too many keys at once. Like, I was just rolling through all my keys really fast, and my character was doing something else, so it didn't count. I think that was the problem. Check out Armored Core 6. Okay, I will. Later, Tater.